talk about the Freedom
They
Caucus,
do have that type of
Party
power.
people getting rid of Boehner. You're talking about
They do have that type of power, Sam.
who were secret members of this caucus, and we just don't have that kind of power yet.
First of all, the Republican majority at the time was much bigger than what we see today, and the squad has multiple opportunities, 18 again that I've listed, in which there was must-pass bills or near must-pass bills in which the vote was so slim.
What is a must-pass bill in your estimation?
A must-pass bill is something that either must pass to continue with the session of Congress, such as a adoption of House rules, speakership, House vote, or the near must-pass bills that I was referring to are things that are a top priority of the Biden administration to pass to solidify his legacy.
I mean, the must-pass bills would be something like a debt ceiling or something to that.
Sure. Avoiding government shutdowns.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's been probably, I'd say.
Hello, somebody. I'm Eden Turner, and I'm excited to announce that I am running for Congress in Ohio 11th District.
Hey.
Hello, somebody. Hello, somebody. How about hello, you? Hey, you. Hey, it's you. You're here. Hey, welcome. So I want to make a couple comments about the Jackson Hinkle versus Sam Seder debate. Jackson Hinkle, Sam Seder debate. This was an awesome exchange of ideas, and I hope they're better off. Both are smarter and better and more evolved after the whole. Jackson Hinkle won, okay? Jackson Hinkle did great. He totally steamrolled them. He absolutely did. And hopefully, they, to give some props to Sam Seder, he took his lumps, right? He took his L's. He took a couple. Essentially, Sam Seder had the incorrect, argument. So Jackson Hinkle, he had the better argument. He had the correct perspective. But Sam Seder, once again, turns out to be a nice, charming guy. When Jackson Hinkle was like, well, you weren't listening to what I was saying, but I'll tell you now, when Jackson was hammering, Sam Seder, and props to Jackson too, they both were, arguing and debating, but they're also listening to each other. You saw how they, with the debt ceiling and the must-pass bills, how they, he asked for the definition of what a must-pass bill is. But yeah, Jackson Hinkle won. Jackson Hinkle won because he had the right perspective. He just hammered him, steamrolled him. He just kept coming at him with the, just a 1, 2, 3, 4 punch. AOC and the squad, Joe Biden, they haven't done enough for America. We needed a bold progressive agenda. We barely got infrastructure. They could have, goddamn, ended the wars, end poverty, end homelessness, police reform, could have got some UBI, could have got, forgive some student debt, some reparations, whole bunch of stuff, whole bunch of things that we could have done, right? Major things, major bold progressive agenda. And AOC and the squad could have flexed and utilized their power with these 18 must-pass bills. But instead, AOC and the squad, they dropped the ball. They dropped the ball on 18 must-pass bills. And, I think force the vote might just be the tactic of, the using the progressive squad to put the pressure on for a must-pass bill. Right? You had a whole bunch of must-pass bills. There's a whole bunch of must-pass bills. 18 of them in 2021. So Jackson Hinkle, it kind of wasn't fair for Sam Seder because, Sam Seder was already incorrect. He's neoliberal. He says it's all okay. He looks at the Biden administration and the incrementalism, and he's like, that's no problem whatsoever. A whole bunch of times Sam Seder said, I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. That's probably closer to his political position than any of the other bullshit that he's ever said. He doesn't give a shit. He doesn't give a shit. There's homeless people right now, Sam Seder. For $5 billion, we can go ahead and solve homelessness in America. But we'd have to give a shit. And we have to be all, in unison. And we'd have to say, let's get this shit done. So if you're homeless, you need some shit to happen right now. But if you're, comfortable middle class like Sam Seder, well, the incrementalism of AOC and Joe Biden, they're okay with it. They're okay with it. There's two other points I want to make. Technical difficulties in the middle of it. They had muted Jackson Hinkle. So they were censoring him. And it's, I think in their own worlds, I kind of like them in their own respective spheres. But the fucking guy that's always like talking in the background, he is the one that muted Jackson Hinkle because Sam Seder was being a dick, and he's like, hey, why don't you play this video, key this video up. So he was trying to talk over Jackson Hinkle by playing a video, and Jackson Hinkle's like, don't do that to me. I'm going to talk over the video if you do it. And so he played the video. Jackson was talking over the video. The dude muted him, which is censorship. That's just like Bill O'Reilly. Cut his mic. Cut his mic. Just cut his mic. So there were some interesting technical difficulties, but again, to Sam Seder's credit, he got back on the line. He got, they had a conversation. Jackson Hinkle's video camera went out. So in the very beginning, you had, the talking heads where they were, essentially debating side by side, at least on the screen. So they were talking side by side on the screen for about, 30 minutes. But then Jackson Hinkle's video gets cut. It goes out for some reason. I don't know. NSA, who knows what the hell that was about. So it was bullshit that they muted him. But then, they brought him back and then they talked to him for another 30 minutes or an hour or some shit. So that was interesting, the technical difficulties. And then last but not least, paid sycophants. It was essentially 3-on-1. It was 3-on-1. And then Emma Vigilant, who's usually got such, incisive commentary, she's just off to the side, just like yelling dumb, petty shit. Like, no, that isn't what he said the other day. That's not what he said the other day. It's, it wasn't to him. It was to me. I was the one that said it. It's the fucking Majority Report, motherfucker. So, and then does he disagree with the damn thing? And what the fuck ever. So, paid sycophants. Yeah, Emma Vigilant, she's doing okay for herself. I like some of her views and perspectives. But, what the fuck? Can't Sam and goddamn Jackson, hash it out amongst themselves? Does Sam need, it needs to be 3-on-1? And it absolutely was 3-on-1. I mean, what kind of incisive commentary? Oh, no, that's not how. Jackson Hinkle was just methodical. He was thoughtful. He just had different points, and he kept up bringing different points and different arguments and different ideas. And hit him from the left. He threw a jab, threw an uppercut, threw a hook. And like I said, he already had the correct perspective. And he, because he had the correct perspective and, he had the correct perspective and he won the debate because he introduced, more ideas, more thoughtful, more interesting. And he's right. And he's right. So no matter how great of a debater you might be, if you got the wrong position, if you start off with the wrong position, there's nothing that, So, yeah, paid sycophants, huh? Paid sycophants. It's kind of disappointing because it's just like, I would think when it comes to policies, Sam Seder and Jackson Hinkle would probably agree on a lot of things, but that just petty sort of paid sycophant, like whenever Sam makes a joke and they all laugh like it's the funniest thing in the goddamned world. Oh, Sam, you're such a funny comedian. Says his paid sycophants. So is his joke really that funny? You need to have like a, studio audience, right? Some non-biased third-party people to be able to. If you just got some sycophants saying, hey, boss, that sure was good. Remember that joke you made? It sure was a funny one. God damn. That sure was a good joke there, boss. So, yeah, fantastic conversation. You should check it out on the Jackson Hinkle and Sam Seder debate. Peace!